The pursuit of wealth is a constant throughout human history. Since ancient times, people have sought ways to accumulate resources and ensure financial security for themselves and their families. However, the true nature of wealth and the path to achieving it are subjects of great debate. Stoic philosophy, with its roots in ancient Greece and development in Rome, offers a unique and profound perspective on what it means to be wealthy and how to achieve that wealth in a way that promotes inner peace and true happiness. Stoics like Zeno of Citium, Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius viewed wealth in a way that radically diverges from the modern materialistic perspective. For the Stoics, true wealth was not in the accumulation of material goods, but in the possession of a tranquil and virtuous mind. Seneca, in particular, emphasized that external wealth was merely a superfluous adornment that could easily be lost, whereas inner wealth was eternal and indestructible. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, taught that true happiness, eudaimonia, cannot be found in external things. He argued that happiness lies in living in accordance with nature and reason, which means living in accordance with virtue. For Zeno, wealth is possessing a state of mind that is undisturbed by irrational desires and fears. According to the Stoics, virtue is the supreme good and the only path to true wealth. This idea is central to the thought of Epictetus, a slave who became one of the most influential Stoic philosophers. In his discourses, he argues that external things like money, status, and power are beyond our control and therefore cannot be the basis of our happiness. Epictetus teaches that we should focus on what we can control, our thoughts, desires, and actions. True wealth, then, is cultivating virtue in our lives. This includes wisdom, discerning good from evil, courage, facing adversity with firmness, justice, acting with fairness and respect for others, and temperance, moderation in all things. Seneca, one of the wealthiest men of his time and an advisor to Emperor Nero, offers a vivid example of how a Stoic can deal with wealth. In his letters to Lucilius, Seneca often meditates on the nature of wealth and how it should be used. He argues that wealth should be seen as a means to an end, not an end in itself. Seneca warns against attachment to material goods, as they can be easily lost. Instead, he advises seeking self-sufficiency and serenity, which are true sources of wealth. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, also provides a practical example. In his Meditations, he reflects on how to be a good leader while maintaining a Stoic perspective on wealth and power. Marcus Aurelius acknowledges that although he possesses great wealth and power, these things do not define his value as a person. He constantly reminds himself that true wealth comes from virtue and the ability to live in harmony with nature and reason, recognizing the value of self-sufficiency. Self-sufficiency is a recurring theme in Stoicism. To be rich, in the Stoic view, means not relying on external things for happiness. Epictetus teaches that we should be able to find contentment within ourselves, regardless of external circumstances. This does not mean avoiding material possessions, but rather not depending on them for peace of mind. The Stoics believe that gratitude is a key to happiness. Seneca suggests that we should constantly remind ourselves of the good things we have and not take anything for granted. The practice of gratitude helps us appreciate what we have and recognize that, in many ways, we are already rich. Seneca often practiced voluntary simplicity, living frugally and avoiding unnecessary luxuries. He argued that by doing so, he became more resilient to changes in fortune. Voluntary simplicity is not about deprivation, but about freedom. The freedom from being enslaved by artificial desires and needs. As mentioned earlier, virtue is the true source of wealth for the Stoic. Investing time and effort in developing wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance makes us truly rich. These are treasures that cannot be taken from us and provide a solid foundation for facing life's adversities. Seneca believed that material wealth could be used for the common good. He advised the wealthy to use their resources to help others and promote societal well-being. Generosity and philanthropy are forms of virtue that can transform material wealth into true spiritual wealth. An important theme in Stoicism is the impermanence of all things. Epictetus reminds us that everything we possess is merely borrowed from nature and that eventually we will have to give it back. This perspective helps us detach from material possessions and focus on what is truly important. Marcus Aurelius also meditates on the transient nature of life and wealth. He sees everything as part of a grand natural cycle and believes that we should accept change and loss with tranquility. For Marcus Aurelius, true wealth is the ability to live in harmony with nature, accepting both the highs and lows of life. Another fundamental point in Stoic philosophy is material detachment. This is not a call for complete renunciation of material goods, but an invitation to perceive our true nature and the ephemerality of material things. Seneca, for example, often meditated on the loss of his riches, advising to imagine life without them to mentally prepare for such eventuality. This exercise, known as negative visualization, or premeditation malorum, helps to strengthen resilience and the capacity to face adversities. Epictetus, in his discourses, illustrates material detachment with the metaphor of a banquet. He argues that we should behave as guests at a banquet, enjoy the meal that is offered to us, but not lament if something is not served. This attitude of acceptance and detachment allows us to live more serenely and focus on what truly matters, our virtuous conduct and inner peace. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of education and self-knowledge as forms of investment. Seneca, in his letters, often advises Lucilius to invest in his own education and personal growth. For the Stoics, knowledge and wisdom are invaluable riches that no one can take from us. Epictetus also highlights the importance of self-knowledge. He encourages us to examine our actions and thoughts daily in order to align our behavior with our Stoic principles. This continuous process of self-evaluation and growth is a form of personal enrichment that transcends any material wealth. The relationship between wealth, power, and responsibility is another crucial aspect of the Stoic view. Marcus Aurelius, as emperor, was constantly aware of the weight of his responsibility and the temptation of power. In his Meditations, he strives to remind himself of his mortality and the transient nature of his power and wealth. He recognizes that his role as a leader is to serve the common good, and that true greatness comes from exercising virtue, not from power or wealth. Seneca also discusses the responsibility that comes with wealth. He advises that those who possess resources should use them justly and generously, helping others and promoting societal well-being. This sense of social responsibility is a vital component of the Stoic view of wealth, where the accumulation of material goods should align with justice and virtue. The virtue of justice is central in Stoic philosophy and is closely linked to the ethical use of wealth. Seneca argues that wealth should be used to promote justice and societal well-being. He warns against greed and exploitation, emphasizing that the true value of wealth lies in its potential to be used for the common good. Epictetus also emphasizes the importance of justice and integrity in all our action. He reminds us that we must treat others with respect and fairness, regardless of our financial position. Wealth, when used justly and ethically, can be a powerful force for good, but it must always be guided by the principles of Stoic virtue. In the contemporary world, success is often measured in terms of material wealth, status, and power. However, the Stoic perspective redefines success as the ability to live according to virtue and reason. For the Stoics, true success is achieving tranquility and peace of mind, regardless of external circumstances. Seneca argues that material success is fleeting and can easily be lost. He suggests that we should measure our success by our ability to maintain calm and wisdom in the face of adversity. This internal focus on success provides us with a solid foundation for facing life's challenges with resilience and courage. Despite its ancient roots, Stoic philosophy offers timeless principles that can be applied in modern life to achieve true wealth and happiness. Here are some practical ways to apply Stoic teachings in our pursuit of wealth. Taking time each day to reflect on our thoughts and actions can help us align our behavior with Stoic principles. Meditating on the impermanence and transient nature of material things can strengthen our detachment and resilience. Working to become more self-sufficient and less reliant on external things allows us to find inner contentment. This can include developing practical skills, cultivating meaningful hobbies, and building a supportive emotional network. Keeping a gratitude journal can help us focus on the good things we already have in our lives and appreciate our inner wealth. Regularly practicing gratitude allows us to recognize that we are already rich in many ways. Using our resources to help others and promote community well-being is a powerful way to live according to Stoic principles. Generosity and philanthropy not only benefit others but also enrich our own spiritual lives. Investing in our education and personal development is a form of enrichment that transcends material wealth. Reading philosophical books, taking courses, and engaging in meaningful discussions are ways to cultivate Stoic wisdom. Enriching oneself in the Stoic way is a profound and transformative process that goes beyond the mere accumulation of material goods. Stoic philosophy teaches that true wealth lies in virtue, wisdom, and the ability to live according to reason. By adopting Stoic principles, we can achieve a form of wealth that is enduring and indestructible, providing us with inner peace and true happiness. By living according to self-sufficiency, gratitude, voluntary simplicity, virtue, and acceptance of impermanence, we can discover wealth not in external things, but within ourselves. This is the path to a rich and fulfilling life, where true wealth is found in how we live, not in what we possess. Thus, by following the Stoic way, we can enrich our lives with meaning, purpose, and inner peace.